What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 28 of the Yamcast, the big 2-8. I'm actually turning 28 in a couple of weeks, so that's kind of crazy. Anyways, today we have some interesting news from Honda. We've got a brand new Grom to check out, which is going to be pretty cool. We've also got the new Gran Turismo V4 that we're going to take a look at. Ducati's doing some funky stuff with their new Multistrada. Then, of course, we have our contest of the week, and we'll be doing our call-ins as well. It's another episode of the Yamcast. You already know what it is. Let's get into it.
So let's start off today with the new Grom. So this is the 2021 Honda Grom. It looks
like a Grom.
It looks like a Grom. It actually looks more like the 2014 Grom.
It does.
Than the newer ones, which I actually like the two-stack headlight thing that the new Grom has. Mm-hmm. But I also love how they've highlighted all the Grom bolts, so you know exactly which ones are torqued to 1,600 foot-pounds.
Yeah. Now, in looking at that, it looks like the new seat is it's different than the outgoing Grom, where the outgoing Grom right now, and we know this because we just did a whole bunch of crap to the Scrambler Grom, has a huge side plastic piece, right?
Yep. This looks like it's just one small side plastic bit
that
you can actually take off, which will be nice if you ever have to get in and maintain it, because the air filter is under all of that plastic.
Yeah, this looks a little easier to maintain and get to. I like the new seat design. I also like the new side Grom plate, kind of like racer inspired. You know?
Right there. It looks neat. It looks like it almost has some Svartpillen Husqvarna influence to it.
Yeah.
You know, with the neon in subtle places and the angles and so forth.
I think the new neon rivets and just the rivet holes in general, I don't know how I feel about them, honestly. No. I think they're a little ugly. I don't understand the purpose of them. Yeah,
these, especially on the red, that doesn't look very good.
It really doesn't.
I like it on the silver more than the red.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what this whole
This is what happens
for.
when Honda tries to have fun.
Yep.
They're like, let's make a fun bike. It's like, no.
You did it wrong.
Now you fucked it up.
But the meat of this bike is more or less the same. So It's making the same power. It's got the same 58 mile an hour top speed, which I don't think I've ever seen 58. Actually, no, that's not true. I saw 60 going downhill on Lime Creek. Full tuck, full aero mode.
Yeah.
Just flat out for like 15 seconds on the Grom.
I've done 65 on the Grom. I went downhill once with it, and I did 65 on the Grom.
Which is about the most terrifying thing in the world.
Honest to God, it is. On those little wheels, yeah, it's scary going that fast on the Grom.
Yeah. So it's more or less the same internally. However, they are saying there have been some updates for smoother running, whatever that means. And they also say it can now do over 150 miles per gallon.
Whoa.
Which, that's pretty impressive.
The Honda Grom is still one of those bikes where it's like, if you want cheap two wheels, man, the running costs for the Grom, you can measure them in quarters. You know, like you can literally pay for gas in quarters. It'll run you for the week. It's kind of nuts.
And it's a airhead, too. So
yeah, nothing's going to go wrong with it.
It's unkillable.
Literally.
They are basically unkillable.
Honda has literally stamped out probably like 100 million of these engines, you know? They're just like, we know how to make them. It'll never break.
But look at this. This is still the exact same here on our Grom. Which
it looks like they gave the exhaust a little kind of metal update right there, a little hole in there.
This little speed hole.
That little speed hole in the canister, yeah.
Yep. And it looks like they've done the same thing where the swing arm pivot bolt goes right through the foot peg mounting bracket, which is dumb.
Because how else am I going to put rear sets on my Grom?
Or how are you going to delete the passenger pegs? Because of course you're not going to take a passenger on your Grom.
You never know.
Do you remember when we did 2-up on the Grom?
Yeah, I wanted to die. The Grom wanted to die.
It did it. Barely.
Yeah, it rolled. It rolled down the street.
It definitely felt like it was about to explode. Now, it is getting some slightly new bodywork. It's getting this new revised LCD dash that actually apparently includes rev counter, gear counter, and everything else is basically unchanged.
Okay, I think right now it has an RPM counter, right?
It definitely has an RPM counter.
It does not have a gear position indicator.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Little 4-speed box on the Grom.
I wonder if they're going to fix the transmission slop.
I hope so.
Because that's the worst thing about the Grom. Is how just loose and there's no feeling from it.
Yeah.
You don't know if it's in gear. You don't know if it's in first because it continues to wobble.
Yeah. I just keep stamping and then I just release the clutch a little bit. Like, okay, it's in gear. You know, that's what I do with it.
Yeah.
But the Grom is a really important bike for Honda, and I think it's an important bike for them to get correct, you know?
This is the epitome of goofy silliness right here.
Yeah. And that's good. That's what the bike's supposed to be, you know?
Yep.
So I think this is a good update for it, and it's kind of crazy that we've been through 3 different Grom kind of facelifts over... It was launched in 2013, right? 2014? Yeah. So in the 6 or 7 years, 3 different facelifts for the Grom. You can tell how much Honda knows it's important, you know? It's kind of like the Mustang from Ford, where it's like every 3 years there's like a new one, right? Because it's so important in their lineup.
Got to get everybody to trade in your old and busted, stunted out Grom with its 52 tooth sprocket. And I feel like if you put like a 52 toother on there, you'd actually be touching the chain to the ground on those tires.
Yeah, probably.
But new Groms for everybody to stunt out, and I guess everybody's going to be racing to create aftermarket parts for it because they sell a shitload of aftermarket
There's
parts.
So much aftermarket support for these bikes. It's insane.
Like when we talked to TST, they were like, we make Grom stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Grom stuff exists. So pretty cool from Honda, getting a new Grom, so that's awesome. What's next?
Next is something that's a little interesting. Brake-by-wire is coming to motorcycling.
I don't know how I feel about that, but tell me more.
So the idea behind brake-by-wire, for those of you who don't know, is it's all solenoid activated. So you push your brake, and it sends an electrical signal from the lever to the caliper to start squeezing. Now, in my understanding, electronics are on-off. There's not a lot of analog there. So how would they get pressure, and how would you feel lever pressure there? I'm not sure. I think
cars have been doing this for a few years now, this brake-by-wire stuff, right?
I'm honestly not sure, but this looks like a Brembo thing here. They see Formula One cars have adopted this system, along with performance street cars like the new Corvette.
Yeah.
Also popular among electric vehicles like Audi's e-tron. So I don't have enough information to really understand why you would want an electric system, because you're removing your direct connection from the brakes.
Yeah.
You are no longer in control of your braking system.
Yeah.
Which I don't like the idea of that being on a motorcycle. On a car, I can kind of get it, because what are the chances that 4 systems will fail?
Yeah.
Because each one is kind of different, especially on electric vehicles, because they all recharge motors and so forth and so on.
Certainly, there's probably some sort of benefit. So I'm seeing the article says, why would you want brake-by-wire on a motorcycle? So let's see what it says there.
Combine brake-by-wire with today's existing bike technologies, lean sensors, gyros, IMUs, dynamic traction control, etc., and it's no wonder why manufacturers are so interested in computerizing brakes. Combined braking would be a very easy start. Features like stoppy control, loop out control, advanced lean sensitive braking, adaptive cruise control would be relatively simple to integrate compared to the current smart brake platforms. So I guess the theory is you could have your bike brake for you in a whole variety of different situations.
Well, I think what it could do is, because I think the number one application that people might be interested in a racing perspective would be trail braking, right? Because that's the hardest thing for new track riders to figure out is like, well, how much lever pressure can I apply as I, get towards that apex and try to carve off speed, right? But if you have a system that says, hey, stamp on the brake all you want, as I sense that you're adding lean, I'll scrub off the brake for you, or I'll help you scrub off the brake so you don't just wash out the front end. So that could be a really cool tool to help beginners learn how to ride faster on track.
But as a track rider yourself, do you feel like that's cheapening
I don't know, man. I used to think that auto blippers were cheapening too until I tried them, and I was like, this is awesome, and I never want to go back. You know, it could be a technology that on the face of it you try for the first time and you're like, it's cheapening it or it's doing it for me. But the best electronics you don't even feel, right? Yep. That's what I've always said, where it's like, you know, electronics on a bike are good when they're doing stuff and you just feel like you're riding faster, more confidently. You know, so maybe brake-by-wire does that for me. Maybe when I trail brake, I just feel like I'm on my best day. You know, I'm just turbo braking my best. You know, I don't know.
My only problem with this is it limits points of failure. Right. So, for example, it adds points of failure because you have a solenoid on one side and a solenoid on the other, and wires connecting it all, as opposed to just a tube with hydraulic fluid running through it.
Yeah.
So, it feels to me like this is a system more prone to needing service, breaking down, having some sort of weird issue with it, especially in the first generation that we see this stuff coming out in.
Yeah.
I don't buy that this is going to be done great on the first couple of bikes.
Yeah, it's something that I don't think I'd want the first iteration of it.
No,
I remember the first kind of inklings of ride-by-wire, and I rode some of those bikes, and they were awful.
Like the 2014 MT-09.
Yeah, 2014 MT-09, ride-by-wire really sucked. I think S1000RR's always had it, and I rode a first generation S1000RR, and it really was wonky. Mm-hmm. Ride-by-wire for me is something that's gotten a lot better, and maybe brake-by-wire will be that way too. I'm seeing on the article here, it says, couldn't the brake-by-wire system fail? What then? So what does that say right there?
Any system can fail, and brake-by-wire is no exception. The most common concern goes something like this. If my vehicle loses power and the brake-by-wire system fails, won't the brakes stop working? It would, and if there wasn't a fallback brake system, catastrophic failure in the brake-by-wire system forces a master cylinder valve to open, immediately converting the master cylinders from simulated to their standard hydraulic function.
So that's cool. You have a fail-safe there, right?
Yeah.
Where like if your brake-by-wire system messes up, it'll convert to a normal braking system.
So what they're doing is they're piggybacking a hydraulic system into this brake-by-wire system.
I think so.
So that makes more sense.
Yeah.
That makes a little bit more sense. But again, I still, electrical faults are really weird little gremlins. Have you ever tried to chase one down?
No, I take it to the dealership.
Yeah, so I tried to chase a throttle position sensor problem in my 919, which admittedly an older motorcycle, and it was a weird intermittent fault. It was really hard to find. It took me and my buddy countless episodes of trying to find and fix and tweak before we were like, okay, it's definitely either this or this. It's either a bad ECU or a bad throttle position sensor. This, to me, takes away some of the you can fix it yourself from your motorcycle.
Yeah.
Like, putting new brake lines on a bike, it might seem daunting at first, but it's really not that hard.
Yeah.
It's literally just a tube of fluid that you have to have crush washers on.
Swapping out, a new brake-by-wire system or figuring it out would be a lot more difficult, right?
Yeah.
But it's weird how, like, motorcycles are more resembling cars nowadays, and they're catching up to cars where, like, I mean, modern cars, unless it's something very simple, any little thing you're going to take to the dealership because it's all computer controlled. It's all very complicated. It's all very difficult. You can't really fix your own car anymore, especially if it's a newer car.
Yep. Maybe
bikes are going to end up that way. The new Multistrada, right, has like radar controlled or like radar assisted cruise control, right?
Yeah. If that goes down the tubes, you are screwed.
Yeah.
Like proper screwed. And
there's a guy out in front of our office that's just blasting music.
Bass mode.
Yeah.
He's just going to sit in his car with the music running.
I hope not. Let's see. He's putting the windows up. I think he's shutting the car off. Please, God. Yes.
There. Oh, thank goodness. I'm sure that came right through.
I'm sure it came through a lot. Yeah, we'll edge out the bass there. Anything else on brake-by-wire, you think?
I think this is a system. I'm very tepid on this one, to be honest. This is a development that I'm a little like, no thanks.
Yeah, I think it's scary to think of brakes being controlled by a computer. But I'm sure people thought that way for fuel injection too, and now why would you do it any other way? Right?
Yeah. I mean, we are big simps for FI here.
I'm a big simp for FI, baby. I am subscribed to FI's OnlyFans for sure. Let's check out the final piece of news for today, and it's a big one.
This is the fun one.
Yeah.
Bye-bye Desmo. So the Gran Turismo V4 engine is Ducati Multistrada's new hotness. And it is really interesting to hear that Ducati is ditching Desmo valves. That's the highlight.
It's a big one.
They're switching from Desmo to springs, which, talk about walking back.
I know. After 30 years or 40 years of really trying that Desmo horn, they're on springs now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing. And I think a lot of people are worried it's gonna, just feel like any other V4. It's not gonna have that Ducati charm.
Mm-hmm.
But I guarantee you, it's gonna have Ducati charm.
So there's this whole video, and I encourage you to watch it. The one that you showed me.
Yeah, it's really great, honestly.
Yeah. It's all, the guys are all talking Italian. So if you don't like reading, this is probably not the thing for you. But the word choice they use, the diction is so achingly Ducati in it.
The grit and emotion of the engine, as you rev it out.
And they talk at the end, one of the guys, one of the tech guys, one of the testers, talked about how the V4 really makes a lot of sense, especially the way they've tuned it, because they made it down low for new riders. They've made it soft and usable down low for new riders.
Yeah.
Because you're obviously going to hop on a 170 horsepower Multistrada with like probably 34-inch inseam.
Yeah. I mean, everyone knows the right choice is to get on a Hayabusa.
Yeah.
It makes 5 more horsepower than this piece of trash. Why would you get a Multistrada when you can get a Busa?
It's really funny. They're claiming this is a paradigm shift. Is it a paradigm shift?
I think for the Multistrada line, it is. We're like you're putting out into the world a 170 horsepower V4. Basically super bike, adventure bike thing. I mean, that's kind of nuts. KTM's been doing that with the Super Duke, right?
Mm-hmm.
They make the Super Duke adventure. But for Ducati, I think it's a crazy step, a big paradigm shift. I think for the lack of Desmo and the extra cylinders, it's a pretty big thing,
Yeah, I would tend to agree, mostly just because of the new valve train.
Yeah.
They're claiming something like 60,000 kilometers,
37,000 miles, I think, between services for a Ducati, for any bike. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's industry leading.
Above anything,
I don't think any
sure.
motorcycle has that kind of valve gap between checks.
No, they don't. And for Ducati to do that, which as you know, as you've seen with my sled, more like 7,500 to 15,000 at the very most. They've always been seen as the more maintenance-heavy bikes.
Mm-hmm.
The bikes you gotta treat with a special glove. You gotta have a special Desmo tool. This no Desmo tool. 37,000 mile service.
I wonder if it really is just going to be as easy to service the valves on this as it would be on any other bike.
Sweet Jesus, no. There's no way. You still got to take it to the dealership.
Yep.
You open up the fairings on a Multistrada, it'll have the sticker on there that says, take it to the dealership. Don't fuck around. Ducati's sub logo for their thing is like, Ducati, don't fuck with us. Take it to the dealership. No, there's no way you could service it yourself. I mean, I'm sure you could, but again, bikes are getting more and more complicated. Like, if you were to tell me, like, oh yeah, get into your Multistrada and do the valves, I'm like, fuck you. I'm not gonna do that. That's crazy, right? I bought a Multistrada, right?
Yeah.
Why would I do that?
I can afford to take it to the dealer.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fucking $30,000 motorcycle. So I don't think it's gonna be like a hands-on like maintenance type of thing, but because the valve intervals are so long, your time at the dealership should only be, unless you're crushing huge miles, like once every 2 years or so.
Probably,
Tops,
yeah.
Tops,
with that, with 37,000 miles, people with Multistradas either put way more than that on or not even close.
Yeah.
So probably like 5 or 50 a year.
So for the consumer, that's cool. If you buy it brand new, you're probably not going to have to go back to the dealership for much after the first service.
Yeah.
But again, we talk about points of failure, right? How many extra points of failure will a Ducati Multistrada with lane keep assist and radar and, you know, blind spot warnings and all this crazy stuff, cylinder deactivation this thing has.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
They deactivate the rear cylinders so that it doesn't put too much heat on the rider at a stop.
Honestly, God bless. I wish the fucking Panigale V2 did that. I fucking wish it turned into a single. It turns into a 450 single. Just sounds like ass. That would be great.
I mean, that's what they were doing back in the day. Ducati was their 400 singles.
Super monos, baby. But I think, again, motorcycles are resembling more like cars in this way. Cars have had cylinder deactivation, and they turn off at stoplights nowadays, the super fancy ones, right? I own a fucking 2016 Nissan Frontier. It does not have cylinder deactivation or lane keep assist or anything like that. It barely has a steering wheel, but you know, the Ducatis, you know, it's a super advanced thing. It's crazy.
Do you think this is too much?
Personally, yes. I like simpler bikes anyways. I go to motorcycling because it's not like cars, because they're not overly complicated. I don't want lane keep assist on my fucking bike. I don't want, you know, 15,000 different electronic systems. Like, thumbing through the systems on the R1, I was like, man, this is cool, but like, goddamn, you know, like, there's so many parameters and all this other stuff. Like, this is kind of annoying. I really like bikes, kind of like your Sumo, kind of like my sled, kind of like my race bike. You turn them on, they're intuitive, they make sense, there's no frills. They just do it, you know?
I got slow mode and fast mode.
Yeah, and it's all right here in my right wrist.
Yep.
That's it. So no, I don't really like these kind of crazy, expensive, insane motorcycles. But on the flip side, I think they're important to make because that tech trickles down. The important stuff goes down to the little bikes, right? Slipper clutches make it to the little bikes.
Yep.
Maybe we'll see cylinder deactivation for multi-cylinder bikes that are more normal because I do think that tech is cool. But overall, some of the super fancy Farkles, you just don't need it.
Yeah, like sweet Jesus would cylinder deactivation be amazing on a VFR.
Yeah.
Goddamn did that bike get hot.
Yep.
And it did not need to just sit there with two cylinders going right under your nuts the whole time.
No, it did not.
But I don't know that.
Imagine R1 with cylinder deactivation. It just lops off two cylinders and it turns into a little MT-07.
That's G mode.
That is G mode, yeah.
Yep. It's an MT-07. But I don't see the value in, okay, blind spot monitor, maybe kind of.
I think you should be aware of your surroundings on
Absolutely.
a bike. In a car, I almost get it because they're bigger, but on a bike, you got to know what the fuck's going on around you, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, most of the stuff, all I see is needless complexity for the sake of saying we did it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think this is tech's for tech's own sake.
Yeah. Personally, I don't really understand the point of having anything that's quote-unquote off-road capable with 170 goddamn horsepower.
Nope.
What the fuck, dude? Like, what? That's insane.
No human being can... Normal human being.
And non-Kyles. Kyle's excluded. Poltar is excluded, right?
Yeah, maximum Kyle mode can maybe take care of 170, but... no normal human being can.
It would make just casual trail riding such a hassle, you know?
It's like wrangling something like the R1 through traffic.
Yeah.
You're literally sitting there with a loaded gun.
Yeah.
And you're doing the same thing on a trail. You just yeet yourself into infinity.
Yeah. So I don't get it. So I like the fact that it is quote-unquote off-road capable, but to me, this is a sport touring offering.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Absolutely a sport touring offering, long-distance kind of bike. But I think it's great that they're making progress. And I think it's great that they're adding, you know, more valve or more intervals to a longer interval to their valve services. I think that's really good.
Yep.
And it's just good for the Ducati brand because, again, they've been often seen as the maintenance-heavy brand, right? Mm-hmm. So... yeah.
I guess we'll have to see what happens. This is right around the corner.
It is. It was kind of crazy how quickly this all kind of happened. It was like, hey, there might be a V4 Multistrada. Hey, there's a V4 Multistrada. Hey, we're selling the V4 Multistrada, right?
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about the spy photos that dropped a couple of weeks ago.
What's the price? Do we know?
No. God, no.
No one knows the price yet?
No. I think they're theorizing high 30s, low 40s right now.
What's a 1260 multi go for right now? I don't even know.
1260 Multistrada. Is
Enduro.
Enduro the best?
I think so.
Ducati probably says, find a dealer.
Find God.
$22,295 dues.
For the standard equipment?
Yep.
Okay.
And you have to pay more if you want it in gold. So if you want it in red, it's $22,095.
Honestly, it's not bad.
No, that's not that bad.
It's a lot, but I thought it'd be more. I thought it was like 27.
What is this? The
Super Duke Adventure?
Yeah, 1290
Adventure
R. Because the Adventure R is the real one.
Yeah.
Price. That one is $17,999. So
that's not bad. So you can.
That's for the 2017 though.
Oh, okay.
So let's see.
We'll go on KTM's
KTM's website. They say they probably aren't going to say on the website. I
think it might go up a little bit. I think in the first part. There somewhere.
Oh, base price $18,599.
Gotcha.
Significantly cheaper and probably better off road. KTM's got
it's
a
probably
lot of
better
heritage.
off road for sure. KTM knows how to build an off road bike. But
have you seen these new 1290s in person though?
No.
They are fuck ugly.
Yeah.
They're really ugly.
I like the years prior. Those are kind of cool. The adventure ones.
Yeah,
Guy
like
in
the
Mexico had
1190 or the first 1290.
Yeah,
those ones look pretty neat. But this new one, whoa.
It's got that crazy headlight from the 790 Adventure. It's the same one. That weird protruding thing.
It's got this. It's almost trying to be like Dakar style.
Yeah,
but
but not quite right. You know.
Yeah, something's a little wrong with this whole setup. But they've been making these bikes for a while, so it's ugly, but it goes like stink, and that's kind of KTM's thing.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm seeing here, Ducati said it and KTM said it on their website as well. It's the travel enduro segment, right? So it's supposed to be super long mileage, Gran Turismo, like the V4 is called, right?
This mile-munching weapon is the ultimate off-road travel enduro for exploring the trail less traveled and beyond.
Yeah. I don't have the balls to take it beyond. I have the balls to take it to the trail, if that, but...
Beyond is a little beyond us.
Yeah, beyond's beyond my skill set. But yeah, would love to swing a leg over a V4 Multi if I ever see one or get my chance to. I'll hit up Vito at Ducati Austin and see if you can give me a ride on one. Just assume the full dad mode,
Absolutely.
And you gotta get the cause.
Your Ducati jacket, Ducati helmet, Ducati gloves.
I got my Dainese Dakar desert jacket over there. That'll work well.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, that'll work very well. All right, let us move on to the call-in portion of our podcast. Alrighty, guys, we are starting the call-in portion of our podcast, talking to our members on our Discord server. If you want to join the fun, join the community, hit the link down below, go to yammynoob.co. You can get access to our Discord server and hang out with us and chat with us and do all this fun stuff and join our contests too. Spite, without further ado, hit the link and let's do it.
Alrighty, boys. We're waiting for your calls.
Germinate 2 boy, you're on the Yammcast. How's it going?
What's going on, guys? So I figured I'd be the first one, as no one is calling, so...
Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to call a second or third one. Remember when we talked about the ZXR 400, I think 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've test-ridden one a few days ago, and it was... I'd say it was fun.
It was just fun? That's all you have to say about it? You're like, oh, it was fun.
Yeah, it was a different experience. So
yeah.
With the 400, it's like a little bit of grunt from down below, and it's shouting in your face, and it's like, yeah, come on, guy, I want to go. And this ZXR, it's just like you just fully crank the handle, you give it everything, and it just starts like, and it starts screaming, and it rips your arms off. Like, it's so fun. I think the guy I landed from didn't have his restrictors in the carbs, so it probably didn't have the 84 horsepower, 48 horsepower it should have had.
Sweet.
But more like 70. but it was a different experience.
Yeah, I really love the old Japanese small displacement inline fours, and from this era too. They had the coolest colorways too. They had the zany '90s colorways. They look really awesome. I'm really partial to the Honda RVF 400, which is a competitor to the ZXR 400, but it was a V4, so it was a little baby 399cc V4. It's so cool, such a cool bike.
It just feels like what you imagine a motorcycle feels like when you're like a small child.
Yes.
It's just like nothing, everything, and it screams in your face, and you're going like 50 kilometers an hour, and you're at 18,000 RPM. Like, it's just crazy.
Have you ridden like a bigger inline four, like a 636 or an R1 or something like that?
I've ridden a Z900 once, but that was also 48 horsepower. And I've ridden for like 200 meters. It was a ZXR, but it was like a 2008, I think. Like the 600 one.
Oh, okay.
The one where they went back. And I just trundled along at like 30 kilometers, and I didn't have the balls to just give it a bit of throttle because it was a bit illegal, and I think that's such a common thing that bonds all motorcyclists is that feeling of like how much it just pulls at the top end, you know, and that amazing feeling of speed and rush of power. I don't care what anyone says, like that's such a fun part of motorcycling, you know?
Absolutely.
Such a good part of it. So yeah, it's cool that you got to try out that ZXR, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I really want it. I think it will be great on track.
Yeah. Are you gonna get it?
It doesn't have like a lot of horsepower.
Are you gonna buy it?
Not that one, but probably one that is already a bit more track prepped.
Nice.
At the end of winter, I think.
Well, when you do, please post up track footage so I can watch it and live vicariously, because I do love those bikes.
I'll do.
Awesome. Thanks, Germinate 2, boy. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, nice guys.
All right, later.
Talk to you. Bye.
Bye.
Someone on the suggestion box was like, they were like, oh, can we get an after party after the Yamcast? And I was like, the Yamcast is already really long. Mm-hmm. How much more do you want, you know?
But, I mean, the after party's before.
It is,
the
yeah,
hangout
it's the before party.
before.
Yeah, it's the before party. Yeah. Yeah, they wanted to go like more in-depth with certain topics and stuff, and I was like, well, we could, you know?
I was feeling like that could be, that makes more sense almost in like just a unscripted streamed Q&A, but that's basically the first 30 minutes of the Yamcast.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think so too. Oh, well.
I mean, maybe we can share the giveaway or the Google sheet a little earlier.
Yeah.
But I don't really.
Maybe that's something we could do for the future instead of like a contest. We'll just be like, hey, like give us a topic you want us to discuss on the Yamcast, and we'll take a crack at it. You know, Maybe that's a section at the end. Man, nobody's calling today, huh?
No.
All quiet on the Yamcast.
I know. I saw these people have been calling, but they called while we were on the phone. If you're out there in Streamland and you would like to call, give us a call.
We don't bite. Unless if you ask me if you should get an R3 or Ninja 400.
In which case, we're going to hang up on you.
I will hang up. Andrew Smith, you're on the Yamcast. How's it going?
All right, what's up, Yammie?
How's it going, man?
Pretty good. Just chilling, watching the stream.
Nice. What can we do for you?
You know, I don't really have much to say other than, you know, you guys have taught me a lot on your beginner videos and stuff, and really have helped me kind of, you know, get mechanically inclined to dive in and kind of see what's going on under there, you know?
Are you sure it was our videos that you watched? Because we don't know shit about mechanics.
I'm not saying you guys have taught me anything mechanically, but you guys have helped encourage me to get mechanically
Yes,
inclined.
okay, good. I was like, because I don't know anything about that shit, man. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have been huge inspiration on everything. It was your videos that I found that kind of got me the push to go get a bike.
Yeah.
And really figure out, how those experiences go, because as you guys say, you can't really understand until you're on the bike, right?
Yeah. So you got that Busa, right?
Not yet. That is the eventual goal, right?
Of course. That's the bike everyone aspires to.
I decided to start off on a Grom, which was probably not too smart, but it's still a lot of fun.
Yeah. Were you the guy that asked me a question earlier on, I think, Ask Yam, or you're asking about how you started on a Grom and you're thinking about what bike you should get next or something like that?
Yeah. And you were telling me the MT-07. I actually watched a couple of your, so you want to get an MT-07 video.
Yeah.
And I think that thing looks pretty clean. I'm liking that. That kind of looks like something I would probably want to get.
It's a rad bike, man. Like it's super upright and naked, and you can really get into it. Do a lot of mods to it. It sounds awesome. It's a ton of fun to ride. I mean, Spite, you had your first crack on an XSR 700 this year, and you loved it, right?
Oh yeah, no, it was my favorite motorcycle that I've ridden all year, aside from my KTM.
Yeah,
definitely hands down. It was so much fun. It was so light, so playful, and it sounded awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, in your video, I was listening to it, and it's not the same as hearing it in person, but I was very much so enjoying the way it sounded.
Yeah.
And then the way it looked, I'm liking the white model for the 2020.
Yeah. It also rips fat wheelies pretty much everywhere, which is very fun.
Oh yeah, that's always fun to do.
Yeah.
Showing off and showing people what you can and can't do,
Yep. Yeah, well, I'm glad you found the videos, man. I'm glad you found them enjoyable and useful. I think sometimes we like to balance the kind of like the shitposty stuff, but also like the useful stuff. So I'm glad that our videos did help you. We've made a really big push this year to make more helpful kinds of videos, so that's cool.
Yeah, it was big help. It's been watching videos from anywhere from 2 years ago to stuff you've been posting recently, just to get a wider expanse on the knowledge due to not really being raised around bikes,
Yeah, I wasn't either. I wasn't raised around motorcycles. I had to learn a lot of this stuff myself, and I also went to YouTube and forums and all that. And honestly, that's why I think the Discord's so cool, because it's just all that knowledge is in one place. You don't have to like hunt in random forums and see what some dude said, or your cousin's like, I started an R1 and I'm fine. Like a bunch of crazy advice like that. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yes, it is.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you calling. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the lines to someone else to see if they want to chat. But I appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Yammie. Have a good day.
All right, later. Starting on a Grom.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. I wouldn't recommend that, but at least you got on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
You're on two wheels.
It's got a transmission. It's got a clutch.
Mm-hmm.
It's as good as you can get for a 125.
The MT-07 is going to feel so fast.
Yes. It's going to feel like a goddamn rocket ship.
Yeah.
I really want to run out and put a potato up this guy's exhaust pipe.
That'd be rad. Yeah. Justice served. Yeah, I remember when Andrew jumped on the XSR 700 and he was riding that BMW G310, and he was like, "Oh my God, this is so fast!" They pull really good.
I'm not sure it's not well. Okay, this is going to be hard to say, but it's not fast. It's quick.
Well, yeah. I mean, for if you know about bikes, yeah, it's a quick bike.
Yeah,
it's not fast.
Like it'll get up and go.
It gets up and goes. I think from like 20 to 80, really nice. And it punches hard to get there.
Yeah,
but it peters out at like 120, 130.
And it's
tops.
not really savage in the same way as like an MT-09.
That one KTM rider, how's it going? You're on the Yamcast.
Hello. This is actually my first time watching stream. I've been a long-time subscriber.
Sweet. Well, glad to have you.
And I was one weird thing that I was thinking of, because earlier, even though my names are different from Google to Discord, I was the one that was asking and talking about the Vulcan 650, and I have a little story to tell about that bike when I used to own it.
Okay.
I put an aftermarket exhaust on it, didn't tune it because I wanted the Spitfire just to be cool, one of those boys. And the weird thing is, after 60 miles an hour in any weather, it would literally just do a burnout while moving. It was the scariest thing. You roll on it hard, you see the RPM spike, and the mile an hour stays still, and you let go of the throttle, and then it'll lurch forward. Which at 60 miles an hour on the highway isn't the, safest and funnest thing to do.
Yeah.
Kind of scared me a little.
I was going to say, that to me sounds like clutch slip.
Yeah.
Not like a burnout, but go on. Yeah.
Okay. Even though I wasn't touching the clutch, but maybe.
Yeah, that's what happens. So like if your clutch is burned out, that's exactly what you described. You'll get on the throttle and the RPMs will kind of rise and it feels like the bike's not doing anything. And then, you're not getting power down because the clutch is actually slipping out of the transmission because it's spent or it's burnt.
The weird thing is, though, it happened the day I put that exhaust on.
That is strange.
How old was the bike when you got, I'm assuming the bike was used?
When I had it, it was a 2015. It had 4,500 miles on it. When I put the exhaust, maybe 500 or 5,500 miles, maybe.
Maybe somebody smoked that clutch, learning how to ride it.
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe, I don't know. But the fact that it happened the time that I put the exhaust on, that's what I thought it was doing.
Yeah.
But maybe not. But I was also thinking about, because I just bought myself, it's kind of weird, because I started with a Ninja 300, went to a Vulcan, and I just got hit 4 months ago, on my Vulcan. I was able to walk away with minor injuries, nothing serious.
Good.
And due to my height of being basically the same size as Spite, 6'3",
Uh-huh.
I don't really fit on it. Like, yes, it does have the adjustable pegs, but I never was able to figure out how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, I want something taller. So I went to a 390 Adventure.
Interesting.
Kind of downgrading.
Interesting choice.
motor side.
That's such a strange progression. I'm not going to lie. Like Ninja 300, Vulcan 650, Duke 390 Adventure. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone going that way, right?
Yeah.
And I want to see the next bike. I want something faster. I'm not going to go with another 600. So I was thinking about the FZ09 mainly because around in Chicago, there's a lot of them around, especially in the secondhand.
Yeah.
So like $6,000 or less, and you get a windshield, you can get saddlebags. And I'm like, well, that would be perfect. Nice and cheap, something I can ride for long distance if need be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not stupid expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I think the FZ09 is a great option. It's a super fun bike, really cool bike to ride. Like you said, you can put saddlebags, taller windscreen on it, and it's basically a sport touring bike because of how upright it is from the factory. And that triple is rad. So I think they're great. The only thing about them is the 2014, 2015, the throttle's really snatchy. And the suspension is not super great on them. But other than that, they're pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
As much as I would love to go buy one now, I kind of just bought the KTM. And
Yeah.
I don't want to just...
You did just get the KTM. Let me ask you, why did you get the KTM? I'm just curious.
The price was in my range.
Uh-huh.
The amount of electronics on it, I don't know if you know anything about the 390 Adventure.
Yeah.
But it has a lot of electronics for the price. Yes, it is slower, but it's also higher seat height. I can actually sit on it without hurting. Because I could probably ride that thing in a couple of hours and be fine. My Vulcan, maybe 45 minutes until I start, really starting to feel the pain.
Yeah.
Even with highway bars and pegs I put on the Vulcan, it still was not comfortable. So I decided to go with a taller bike.
We know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go to a 790 Duke or 790 Adventure next, but $13,000 out the door.
Yeah, it's a spicy meatball. It's expensive.
Or even the bike Spite has $12,000 out the door.
Yeah.
Not exactly the best option for a college kid like me.
Yeah. No, I think FZ09's a cool bike. I think you'll really enjoy it. You got the adventure bikes. I'm curious, are you trying to do any kind of off-roading or you want to do that kind of stuff, or you just like the way it sat and the way you felt on it?
I like the way it sat.
Okay.
I was thinking, I was ironically watching a lot of Sport 9 videos.
Yeah.
And he pretty much covers almost every kind of adventure bike. KTM, BMW, I can't think of the others at the moment. Royal Enfield. Oh, no, he didn't do that one.
Yeah.
All the major ones. And I'm like, well, he's my height. I want a new bike. And the funny thing is, I was thinking about getting a Grom.
Oh, man.
Like a small bike temporarily so I could actually ride and then buy a big boy bike with more money. But I'm like, do I really want to spend $3,000 on a Grom? No.
Yeah.
So I was looking at KTM and I saw the 390 and I'm like, well, that's perfect. Has more electronics than I've ever had on a bike. And I was also listening to the stream earlier and how you're talking about how advanced cars are. I know this is a little off topic, but I'm a car mechanic, and trust me, I can tell you they're a pain.
Yeah.
Especially electronics. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's why we always recommend a simpler bike, because it's going to be easier to maintain and operate and do stuff. I don't like a bunch of crazy systems and computers on my motorcycles. Definitely not.
I don't either.
Yeah.
And that's why with my daily, my truck, it's a 2000 Jeep Cherokee, the XJ. Nice and simple, reliable, gets me from A to B. Is it a race car? No. But it still works. It's cheap, it's reliable, and anything breaks, it doesn't break my wallet. So.
Yeah. That's the important one. So, Spite, any recommendations for next bike he should get other than MT-09 that he's looking at?
Well, it's tough.
I was looking at the MT-10, but I feel like that's a little too far of a jump.
Yeah, it's a big jump. Big jump.
There's not really a lot in the MT-09 range that goes for as cheap as the MT-09 does.
Yeah, that's
it's kind of Yamaha with their MT bikes has put them. They're priced so aggressively. Like the fact that the MT-10 is $13,000.
Yeah.
To the Super Dukes
compared to
18.
the MT-09 is what, 9?
Yeah.
8.5.
They're so aggressively
and like
priced.
I said, you can find them used so easily.
Yeah, FC09, if I remember correctly, launched at like $7,600 when it launched, like in 2014, which is nuts.
Dirt cheap.
Yeah, super nuts. But yeah, whatever bike you do end up getting, let us know what you get, and we'll check base with you on the Discord, man. I appreciate you calling.
Will do. I'll see you guys on there.
All right, later.
Bye.
Bye.
Alrighty, guys, that wraps up the call-in portion of our podcast. We're now going to run over to the contest portion where we have two Big Four manufacturers pitted against each other. Stay tuned. Alrighty, guys, if you are listening to the Yamcast, know that you can go over to the YouTube channel on Yammie Noob, and you can see the audio-visual component of the contest, because it's going to be the best way to enjoy it. So, Spite, this week we've got a fun one, right?
Right. So this week we decided to pit the boys against each other once again. When they picked, goddamn, they were going to pick Team Kawasaki or Team Honda.
Nice.
So pitting the Big Four against each other. Next week we've got Yamaha versus Suzuki, and then the week after they're going to butt heads, and we're going to see which of the Big Four is the biggest. Yep. And today we unfortunately had a little bit of a landslide. The Kyle energy was too great. Kawasaki has way more entries than Honda.
Yep.
So we can unfortunately call Team Kawasaki the winner. However, we still have some really great memes to watch through. And the first one comes to us from Phantom 10792.
So we got Wile E. Coyote right there, and he's got it looks like a classic ZX9R, right? Something like
I think
that?
so, yeah.
He says, a smart-ass bird is screwed now. I like that. Kind of has boomer energy to it. It's Comic Sans font on it, which I kind of like.
Gotta have the Comic Sans.
What a strange choice for the Cowie, though. Like a period-correct ZX9R. Mm-hmm. Very strange, but very cool bike.
Yeah, that.
Or that could be a ZX7, actually. I don't know. My buddy had a ZX7 way back when, and yeah, that might be a ZX7.
I think it's a ZX9.
Yeah, because they both had the same body style, if I remember correctly.
There's two numbers following the ZX up there. I can't read it because it's too small.
Who can say?
Did they make I know they make a ZX14, but
no, but that one must have been the ZX7R. That might be what it's looking like.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but anyways.
So we don't have effectiveness this week because, again, we called the contest. But we do have our quality and funniness. So quality-wise? It's a little simple.
I think quite simple. Let's give it a 4. I think a 4 is fair.
A 4.
Yeah.
Funniness.
Got a decent chuckle. Let's say a 6.
A 6. 10 right out of the gate for Phantom 10792. Next one comes to us from German A2 Boy.
With the high quality. Wow. Forgot how shit that Mortal Kombat music was.
Yup. And that was German A2 Boy.
It's pretty good.
Nice little Mortal Kombat.
Straight to the point, just be like, Cowie dominates Honda at the drag strip.
Absolutely.
Is what it is. Now, quality, I gotta score it high. A lot of effort went into that video.
Absolutely.
Like the player select screen and all that, that's crazy. I think a 9 for quality for sure.
Agreed.
That was really good.
Funniness.
Well, I didn't really laugh too much out of it, right?
No.
Yeah.
I think it was mostly like the quality. He stuck to the gimmick really well.
Yeah.
What do you think? 6, 7?
I think a 5.
5?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really didn't laugh much from it.
I feel like it was...
It made the point, though. You know,
Yeah.
that's the thing. But we do grade these on quality and funniness. Yeah.
So in terms of funniness, not so...
But he's leading the
chuckle-worthy.
pack at a 14.
Yep. Next one comes to us from Bad Assler.
Look how aggressive that guy's being on that little, like, CB300.
That is the CB300 too.
Yeah. Like the little chirpy.
Yep.
I really want to ride an H2 one day. I've never ridden one.
I think it's so silly that the impeller spins so fast that the tips break the speed of sound.
Yeah.
And that's what you're hearing when you roll off on that bike. Such a silly machine. Mm-hmm. It's definitely like the new Turbo Busa.
Absolutely.
But
I just love how Kawasaki made the ZX14. They just waited for Suzuki to do something. They were like, all right, fuck it. We're just going to make something crazy. If you won't do anything, then fine.
We're still waiting on that Gen 3.
The golden Gen 3 Hayabusa. Luxury edition. 30 grand from Suzuki. It's going to happen. Mark my words. Quality. It was good. I like the couple images or the couple videos and all that. I think an 8 for quality.
An 8. Funniness.
7? What do you think?
I think a 7.
I think a 7's fair.
15 just edged out German A2 Boy, but Bad Assler, he's not eligible to win this week.
He's gotten 2 W's in a row though, right? I think he's often at the top. He podiums a lot.
He's working pretty well. He pulled a Marquez. He just came out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
All right, next one comes to us from Sporticus.
All right, guys. Honda versus Kawasaki. Kawasaki's clearly the superior choice. I own both. Let's talk about the Honda first. The exhaust note is terrible. It's slow. And Honda was so ashamed of being a Honda, they actually put it in Husqvarna frame, probably to appeal to Euro simps. But this bike is what we really came here to see. It's beautiful. The orange color is superior.
A little
cursed.
cursed.
The part about Kawasaki is, just open the fuel tank here. It actually runs on Monster Energy drink. So just crack this open.
Freshly cracked, so you notice
this
on a
way you and your
gimmick.
Bike can stay fueled together.
That. It's not a gimmick. And if it is a gimmick, my God.
That guy...
Commitment to the bit.
Absolutely.
Just drinking gasoline.
So, quality and funniness for that one.
So I think the quality, is filmed on like a potato cam, single shot. So the quality is relatively low, but the bit was good. I think the bit was really good. So I think for quality, I think an 8 or a 7.
I was thinking like a 7.
Okay, let's do a 7.
Because it was a little shaky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a 7. Funniness, though?
Hard 9.
Hard 9.
Good chuckle. Yeah, very funny.
Which is 16.
Ooh.
14, 15, 16. Each one's getting better than the last.
I know. You love to see it.
So the next one comes to us from Little Cowie Guy. And unfortunately, he did not go to bat for Honda. Can't imagine why.
So we got a meme here at the Repsol Honda. It says, yeah, I can ride the same bike as Marc Marquez. And then, actually, and it's his massive high side. And then, fine, I'll just ride it like Jonathan Rea then. It says, well, you can try. And it says, Kawasaki Racing Team, Cowie forever. It says, PSA, the views expressed in this ad do not necessarily represent those of KRT or its affiliates. But yeah, what is that last one?
Basically.
Well, if I was on Team Honda, I would say something like, where's your MotoGP team?
Yeah.
Where are you at, Cowie?
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
At least we're yeeting our bikes in MotoGP.
Yeah, you're selling all that heavy machinery and you can only get to WSBK? Sad.
So I think if we were going to rate that on effectiveness, it'd be a little bit lower.
Yeah, a little lower.
Quality?
Well, I think the quality, it's a 6-panel kind of, reaction thing. I think pretty good. I'd say a 5.
A 5.
Yeah.
Our average middle of the road. And then funniness.
I think funniness is also a 5, maybe.
5?
Yeah.
I was thinking like a 6, maybe.
Let's do a 6. Yeah.
It made us chuckle a little bit more than the other 5s.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an 11. Not going to cut it, I don't think. Next one
won't cut
comes
the
to us
mustard.
From Ride Red, Bleed Blue, our first Honda meme.
First pro Honda meme, right?
Our first pro Honda meme.
You know it's got to be Honda. Look at that quality. It's what they're known for. What you thinking there, Kyle? You want some of that big Rick energy. Popping dank nooners and trying to hit the track on your ZX-10R. When wait, what's that coming at you from the outside? Boom! You just got hit with that Fireblade Triple R action. Damn, doesn't she look good? Listen to your Papa Yams and join the Honda Boy Revolution. It's gonna be glorious.
Damn, I did not say to join the Honda Revolution. Would never say that. Would never say to join the Honda Revolution.
I also like how in that thumbnail, when you zoom in, you can see the little broken clip that we had on that one.
I ran like that for a while. It's funny. I look at those headers again on that bike, and the stock headers really do look better.
Yep.
So pretty. I'm so glad I kept them.
Mm-hmm. They're absolutely gorgeous.
Do you know the best part about this whole meme? That bike literally went to a Kyle. His name was Kyle, and he lived in Virginia or something.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Kyle got
perfect.
a Honda.
So, quality.
Some of the gaps were really long. And I was like, is the joke coming? I was kind of waiting on it. I think a 6.
Okay.
What do you think?
So, normally we say we don't want to judge on, like filmmaking stuff, but I feel like the gaps...
It's an editing thing, not filmmaking necessarily. Yeah. So if you just tighten it up,
I think like a 5.
A 5, okay.
Yeah. And then funniness?
I think a 6.
A 6.
Yeah.
I agree. Next one comes to us from AG Silence.
Got a tech space meme here. It says, kicks open Suzuki's door. Sup, bitch, we just dethroned your bike. Eagerly stares at the R1 and Fireblade prototypes. After years of waiting for a new challenger, fine, we'll do it ourselves. The king is dead. Long live the king. With the
basically what you
H2.
just said.
Yeah, I just said that. That's crazy. So 10 out of 10 for him because he agreed with me. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's funny. Like the ZX14 is like, the sort of like Nega Busa. You know, it's like this weird alternate dimension Busa almost.
It is technically better than the Busa, but it ain't a Busa.
It's not a Busa. It's not a Busa.
You might have your weird ZX14s with your alien men on them.
Mostly because the ZX14 suffers from the same problems the Gen 2 Busa suffers, and I can't believe that I'm going down this diatribe, but I know so much about Busas that I have to talk about them now. The Gen 2 Busa's compression ratio is too high, and it doesn't take boosts as easily as the Gen 1, so it's not as good as the Gen 1 Busa. I'm unironically a Busa boy at this point. Fully unironically a Busa boy.
Oh my god, dude. You got to get the hat. You got to get some Hayabusa gear now.
Yep. I mean, the hat's right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Make Busas great again. Perfect.
I've been there, dude.
God, man, that's even down to the year because of the compression ratio.
I got him. Yep.
You got him.
I got him. I know my Busas.
Just to think, a couple of years ago, you were goofing around on Craigslist.
And now here I am.
With a Hayabusa in the other room.
Here I am with the Hayabusa saying make Busas great again, telling you why the Gen 2 isn't as good as the Gen 1. The mighty have fallen. Yeah, life imitates art and all that, right?
Absolutely. So, quality here.
Pretty low qual. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I like the concept there, but you didn't even give me a photo. You could have set this up with the R1s and the Fireblades, like looking at them or something, doing something a little bit better. So I'm gonna give it a 5 for quality.
Yep.
That middle of the road stuff.
Funniness.
I think a 5 as well. I mean, it's funny and I get the idea, but it's not like, you know, I didn't get a good chuckle out of it, you know.
Yeah, it feels pretty middle of the road. Next one comes to us from west of the Andes.
We haven't seen one single Kyle joke yet, dude.
Not a single one. Well, the other guy mentioned Ride Red, Bleed Blue did talk about Kyle's very briefly. But no like real Kyle energy today, which is a shame.
This is incredible. Wow. No nerds. Oh my god. Oh man. I love the idea that, like, you know, Busa boys are just like, no nerds, like, fuck off. I love that. Man, that was really good. Is that did he make that beat or is that a song? That feels like a real song, right?
He says he made the beat himself.
Did he really?
Yeah, so according to him...
Well, goddamn.
Yeah, I made the beat and everything for my entry this week, so no worries about the copyright.
Fuck, all right.
So I guess he made all of that.
Dude.
Yup.
Wow.
Very solid.
Very solid. And very funny, too. Mm-hmm. The hat backwards, no nerds. That was really good.
That was very good.
All right, he made his own song. He came up with his own rap, filmed it. I think a 10 is in order for quality.
Agreed.
That's pretty awesome.
Funniness.
I got a good chuckle out of it. I think a 10.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think that's our
new 20
front runner.
Yeah. We don't do 10-10s very often.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
Now, the last one I forgot to include in the video because it kind of disappeared down my DMs. But I did remember it came in, so I'm going to share it with the group again. And it comes to us from Just Playing, and it is a Honda meme.
Is there audio?
Kawasaki. Honda wins.
So, do you know what that's from?
What is that, Street Fighter?
That's Street Fighter.
Yeah, yeah.
And the other fighter, the Honda one, is called E-Honda.
Is he?
Yeah, so he used Honda.
Wow.
Yep.
That's pretty sweet.
And that I like how he had all the different shitty Kawasaki's in there.
Yep. And just the classic format, just like Kawasaki.
Yep.
It's like, you suck.
Absolutely.
Easy.
So.
And I just love that there was a Versus 650 that flashed on the screen there.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime we get to dunk on the Versus
man.
650.
Love it. Love it.
It's like basically most Kawasaki 650s are worth dunking on.
You know what, though? Because we rode the Z650 today, and we were like, it really grows on you. The Versus 650 is the exact same as that bike, except a little taller, a little more, robust. Maybe it is as good as everyone says.
I don't want to acknowledge.
I don't want to. No, I cannot. Even if it's good, I'm gonna still say it sucks.
Yep. I can't be wrong on that because that would shatter all of my perceptions.
Yeah. I don't even want to know what'll happen to Yammie Noob writ large if we admit that the Versus 650 is a good bike. We can't do that. All right. So quality for just playing, I'm gonna give it I think a 7.
A 7.
I saw the Photoshop in the video. I saw the bikes flashing up. Some good qual there. Good
Agreed.
qual.
Funniness.
I think a 6. Well, no, I think a 7.
A 7.
Yeah, I think a 7's in order for funniness.
All right, that is a 14. Now
we know that Cowie won.
We know that Cowie won. So all the.
I mean, for God's sake, Cowie wins just off of what West of the Andes did.
Basically, yeah.
That
was like
Honda would need to come so correct to beat that. You know, you can't beat that.
Nope.
No nerds.
No nerds.
No nerds. God damn it.
And Honda's pretty freaking nerdy. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, they're pretty nerdy.
So West of the Andes definitely our first place.
And I don't think he's on a cooldown or anything, right?
No, he's not. He's actually good to win. Next one is Sporticus. I also believe not on a cooldown. Good to win.
These new podiums.
And then Bad Assler is still on cooldown, which means German A2 Boy and Just Playing. Now, I believe, I need to check really fast.
German A2 Boy may be out of his cooldown.
Yes,
right?
I believe he is open to win.
It's been a couple weeks. He's been out there, you know?
Yeah, so I have a whole spreadsheet of which one of you people can win. Because...
you people.
There's so many of y'all out there.
Sons of bitches can win this goddamn contest.
Alrighty, so...
You really do. Holy shit, this is a robust sheet.
German A2 Boy can win.
Nice.
So, we do have an official runoff here between Just Playing. Let me verify that he is actually good to win, because I know he got one recently. Nope, he's clear. The can't wins do not include him. So... he is ready to rock and roll. So we got a runoff.
Okay.
German A2 Boy versus Just Playing. So both of them, I would like to point out, did fighting game memes.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah.
They both did fighting game memes.
I feel like German A2 Boys was of a higher quality, though.
It was, for sure. He did that whole introduction screen with the player select and all that. Even if it wasn't as funny, I mean, damn, you know? A lot of effort went into that.
Yes.
But at the same time, Just Playing also put on all those different Kawasaki's and stuff. But you're right. The concept that German A2 Boy did was much more evolved, I think. He did a lot more effort into it. So I think I got to give it to him.
Agreed. I think on that,
he's our third place
alone. Yep. Which means that we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do prize-wise, because got to get something out to Germany for him.
Gift card.
Gift card.
You get a little gift card, because, nope.
We're not mailing something out that way.
I don't even know if it would show up because of COVID stuff. It would probably sit in the mailbox somewhere. So, a digital gift it shall be for German H2 Boy. And thanks for everyone for sending us fun memes for the contest. Next time we do the Yamcast, it's going to be Yamaha versus Suzuki.
I gotta believe Suzuki's just going to walk all over that one.
It's gotta be. And then we'll have a runoff for Kawasaki versus Suzuki. Yeah.
It's all just going to be ZX14 versus Busa.
Why am I surprised? I'm not surprised at all. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you next time.